Today on The Naked Truth, I wanted to talk about excuses. I'm Australian. Hey yo my G's, it's me, Clara. This is The Naked Truth. It's a vlog where I'm naked telling my truth. Why do I do it naked? Because being naked strips me of all of the things that I use as an identity, as a protection. It is me at my most vulnerable, talking about my truth, talking about topics that I don't always talk about, talking about things that I think need to be spoken about. So here I am, naked. This is The Naked Truth, and hopefully you enjoy it. So I asked myself the question today, what would happen if I was never successful? What would happen if all the goals and dreams that I have, if I never ever reached them? And instead of feeling terror and kind of like, oh my God, my life would be so crazy, I was like, well, that's not gonna happen. That's not gonna happen. And I thought to myself, do you know what? You are in such a different space, Clara. You have done so well to get yourself into this space, because I used to be somebody who didn't believe that I could be successful. I used to believe that it was never going to happen for me because life wasn't fair and life didn't like me and everything goes wrong for me and I can never be successful. I'm not like other people. I'm not as good as them. I'm not as attractive as them. I'm not as funny as them. And so, yeah, it's just never going to happen for me because people don't like me, so they're not going to give me the jobs that I want to have, and no one's going to want to work with me. So yeah, it's just pointless and I might as well give up. Only I never gave up because it was the thing I really wanted to do. I really wanted to do it. So what I'm saying and what I want to talk about today is the fact that if we hold ourselves with excuses, we may never ever reach to that place that we want to go. We may never ever attain that success because we're so busy blaming circumstances, blaming other people for where we are right now, that we're not taking responsibility, which means we're not taking control, which means we can't make changes, which means we're not going to get where we want to go. If the version of you that you are right now was going to be the person that took you to your success, would you not already be there by now? Would you not already be at that level of success right now? But instead, if you're anything like I was, you're kind of at the bottom of this mountain and you're looking up at the mountain and you're like, oh my God, I want to get to the top. But right now there's this wall right in front of you. You can see the top over the wall, but you just keep running against the wall. You just keep running and the wall is there and you're running and you're not going anywhere. So it can feel like really hard work. It can feel like you're doing everything that's in your power, everything that's in your control. But up here, you're full of excuses. Up here, you're not in control. And as we know, our internal world is creating our external experience. So we can do as much stuff as we want out there in the external world. We can try and force things, make things happen, and make people listen to us and make them do what we want. But you know what? That's not it. That's gonna exhaust us. It's gonna be so hard. What we can do is do our internal work. And very often we don't do it because that is tough. Because it's about us and our excuses. It's easier to blame somebody else. It's easier to blame a circumstance for why we don't have what we want or for why we are not the way we want to be. That's easy. That's easy. What is hard work is to take responsibility for where you are and for your situation, and to own it, to fully own it. That is hard work. But once you do that, you are in the driving seat of your life. You are back in control and you become aware of what's going on in your internal world. And thus, you can start having power and control over what you're experiencing in your external world. I am not sitting here being like, oh yeah, my life is so great right now. It's like brilliant. In fact, it's always been brilliant. And I can just see that you, and you, is because you make excuses. So yeah, you just need to do what I do. No, that's not what I'm saying. That's not what I'm doing, because that's not truthful. That's not honest. I have been in the same situation. Oh my God, I used to be the queen of excuses. I used to be the queen of misery. I used to be the queen of woe is me, poor me, victim Clara. None of this is my fault. It's everybody else's fault. It's life's fault. It's God's fault. It's not my fault. Life is unfair. All of it's unfair. I will never, ever, ever be successful. Not because I don't want it or because I don't work hard, but because nobody likes me. Nobody's going to give me that opportunity. And you know, it's just not fair. Have you finished? Can you see any of this in yourself where you make these excuses? Because What I learned and what I had to learn was that it's fine. If I want to make excuses, if I want to blame things on other people, that person for not giving me that opportunity or saying yes to me, if I want to blame the fact that my mum died when I was a kid, if I want to blame the fact that my sister died when I was in my 20s for making me the way I am, which means I can't do what I need to do, that's fine. But I'm also saying, when I say that, when I make those excuses, that I have no control over my life. I can't change things. And so essentially, I'm never going to have what I want and I'm just going to be miserable. That's my choice. If I choose to continue to believe those things, which I did for a long time, that was my choice. And I created a life that perpetuated those beliefs that I had. I created a life that lived inside the excuses that I had. I created experiences that mirrored back to me what I believed about myself. I created experiences that mirrored back to me what I believed about the world and other people. I created that. And then at some point after my sister died, I decided, do you know what? This is not right. This is not cool. My mum and my sister can't be here. They're not even here to experience this life, this world where there are so many possibilities and things that could happen. But guess what? I'm here. I'm here right now. What am I doing? What am I doing? I'm essentially locking myself into a prison of excuses and woe is me, saying this is all my life can ever be because these things happen to me. I read a lot of biographies about people who have been through things in life that were so much worse than the life that I had experienced. And they had still managed to find success, not just financial success, but personal success. They'd managed to find happiness. They'd managed to find love. And so I was like, wow, if these people can achieve that, I can achieve that. It has to be possible. What do I have to do? What are the steps to get there? Tell me and I will take them and I will do them. But lo and behold, when I found out what the steps were, and the first step's taking responsibility, it took me a long time. Like that was 8 years ago when I first started on this journey, and it's taken me a long time to get to this point because I was like, what are you saying? That I have to take responsibility for my mum dying? I have to take responsibility for my sister dying? That's ridiculous. But that's my acting skills, A1. But that's not it. That's not what this is about. Look, circumstances and things happen. Yeah? They happen for many different reasons. I'm not going to get into that right now, but they happen. Now, when they happen, we have a choice. And our choice is how we choose to believe, think, feel, and look at that thing that has happened. So, okay, you can say, but death is sad and it's negative and etc. Yeah, it is. It's sad. It's horrible. There's a grieving process that you have to go through. But at the same time, if I allow the death of somebody else to stop me from living, what? So my sister and my mum die and I'm going to say essentially, I'm not going to live anymore. I'm going to be here. Yeah, I'm going to exist, but I'm not going to live because it's not fair that you died. No, that doesn't make any sense. The way that I started to look at it was like this. My life is happening for me, right? So I'm not saying my mum and sister died for me, but what I'm saying is those experiences happened. So what can I learn from those experiences? What can I take from those experiences to allow me to make something positive come from those experiences? What can I do? What can I learn? How can I grow? What can come from this? And what I learned and how I grew was that I thought, right, okay, there is no alternative universe. There is no point in me going, oh, but if my mum was still alive, if my sister was still alive, my life would be like this, my life would be like that. That's stupid. That's just torturing myself with something that can never, ever be. So I dropped doing that. I stopped doing that. That's got to go, number one. Number two, then I started thinking about my mum and my sister can't be here. And if they were here, they were the kind of people that would be living their lives, that would be doing this, that would be doing that. So what right do I have to be blessed with this existence with so many opportunities and possibilities, but I'm going to keep myself confined to this little box of misery because they died and it's not fair? What's going to happen when I die? I'm going to look back at my life and think, well, I wasted that, didn't I? I mean, I could have done so many things with it, but I wasted it. I wasted it living in the confinement of those excuses, in the confinement of those experiences, and busy blaming everybody else for what has happened to me. I had to let go. I had to let go of all of those excuses. And I have to be aware because excuses still come up. Excuses still rise from the ashes like a phoenix, you know, and you have to check in with yourself and you have to become aware. So if you're someone who right now there's something that you want, that you want to have, there's a way that you want to be different, there's a way you want your life to be, but it isn't like that right now. And you're like, yeah, but it's because, you know, this person, when I was growing up, this person was really mean to me and they were really horrible to me, and they told me that, you know, that I was ugly, so now I hate myself, I don't love myself. Okay, change it. Change it. Are you going to let what that person did to you years ago control the rest of your life? Are you going to, they might have said those things to you 100 times. You've said them to yourself 100,000 times. Yeah? So it's about us waking up to what we are doing to ourselves. What we are doing to ourselves. Let go of what the other people did to you and stop doing it to yourself. Give yourself permission to think, feel, and believe something different. There's a great book by Dr. Wayne Dyer called Stop the Excuses, and that would be my advice to you right now is make the decision, make the choice that your life is going to be different, that it's going to be magical, and that it's going to be everything you want it to be. Make that your choice, make that your decision, and then absolutely go for it with no excuses. And every time you find yourself making an excuse, sit with it, dismantle it, and let it go. You are the creator of your life. You are so powerful, and you have the ability to do anything that you want to do. That is exciting. Don't let the experiences, the people, the circumstances that you have encountered so far in your life be the determining factor for how your life turns out. I love you. Have a blessed and beautiful day. Hopefully you've enjoyed this naked truth. Please give it a thumbs up, turn on your notifications, and subscribe. I'll be back with another one real soon.